Everyone, welcome back to my channel Indian Programmer on YouTube. And in this particular lecture, as I promised, that I'm going to make the same project which I made in the previous lecture, and I showed you that how you can use the GUI Sync components. You can drag and drop those components and have a look and feel behavior. But in this particular lecture, I'm going to write the code of that particular project, and I'm not going to use the drag and drop uh, facility of this particular IDE. So for this particular reason, first of all, what we need is that we need to create a Java application. So let us name that application as GUI 3, because earlier I had made GUI 2 in the previous lecture. So now this is the GUI 3. If I go back to the one of my previous projects, then you can see that let the uh, project be the GUI 1. You can see in the source I had made this file earlier, and I had written these 4 lines. I'm going to copy these 4 lines once again and show you and recall that what was the behavior of these 4 lines. uh, so the first line is creating a JFrame. If I am going to write this line only, then actually it is giving an error because it has not imported the JFrame class which is there in the swing package. So first of all, it is going to import this. So now it has imported JFrame class which is there in the javax.swing package, and now there is no error. But if I'm going to save this program, and I'm trying to, if I will try to run this particular program, then it is successful, but there is no output. So the reason was that the visibility of the frame is by default set to false. So what I need is that I need to first of all set the visibility to true, and as you can see now I have set the visibility to true. So hopefully in this time when I'm running, so I'm getting this window, but as I told you that in this particular window, and the size of this frame or this window is not set. So what I need this time is that I need to set the size. And one more problem is there. The problem is that when I'm going to close this particular window, then also the program is still running and the project is not closed. So for this reason I have to close it from here. So I have to remove both these problems. For the first problem, what I did was I added this particular line of code, and what this line did was that it has make it has confirmed that the size is 400 cross 400, and it is a definite size. So this time it would appear like a rectangle. The frame would be in the rectangular shape, as you can see over here. But there is still this problem which is continuing. For this reason, what I did in the earlier lecture was that I added this particular line, which I'm going to add again, and I'm going to save. So this was that I told you in the third lecture of GUI. So now when I'm going to close this particular window, and then this is going to close, and the exit on close, the project will exit. So all these problems were already discussed, but now as I have to move a step ahead, so I would like to tell you one thing, that actually we can not only use we can not only instantiate this JFrame, but we can also also extend the JFrame, and for this reason we can use the methods which are there in the JFrame. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to first of all create another class. So for that reason I'm going to click it over here, and I'm going to add a new Java class. So now this new Java class, let us name it as JFrame frame 1. So you can see that this has already been created now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to extend JFrame now. So the problem is because of the same reason, because we've not imported the JFrame which is there in the jfx.swing package. Now this problem is resolved by the IDE itself. But now there is a bit of difference, that now we don't need to have these over here. We can just use these methods and set their values. So I'm just cutting it from here and placing them all over here. So now you can see that I placed all these. And one more thing, that I don't need to um, use the object this time, because I'm just overriding the methods which are there. So now I can use the methods which are there in the parent class. So I don't need to use the object now. And what will happen is that I will only need to instantiate uh, object of JFrame1 now, because it is in my package, and I'm not going to pass any parameter now. So JFrame1, so then I've just instantiated. First of all, I need to save, and one more thing, that I need to have a constructor, so that whenever the object is created of the JFrame1, then all the methods are called. So for that reason I'm creating a constructor now. So now in this constructor I'm going to pass all these three functions, methods, sorry. So I'm going to close this. That's okay. And one more thing, that I have to set the title. For that reason I have to call the super. I is not pressing. So the super method, and in this method I need to pass the title which I want. Here I want the title to be welcome. So hopefully this should work correctly. And now I don't need to import this over here. So let's remove this from here, and let's see that we are going to save. Now we have saved. So now we are going to run, and it is producing the same output as it was producing earlier. So now if you recall that what we did earlier was that we we included two components, and those were the J button and the second was the text field. So for that reason I have to first of all add those two components, and I'm going to add those two components over here within the class, and not within the any constructor or any other method. So let's move it down, and now I'm going to create two components. The first one is the button. So let's suppose if I write that I want a J button, so if I write J button over here, it should produce some sort of error, and that is that we have not included this. So now it is being included, hopefully. Yes, it has been included. This error should not occur now. And one more problem, that I'm not given any name, so let the button name be J button 1, as we named it in that particular lecture, in the previous lecture. Similarly, I need to instantiate a text field, so private J text field. Now let the name be the J text field 1, J text field 1. Hopefully all this is clear. One more problem is that J text field is not being imported. Now it has been imported. You can see over here that now J text field is also imported. Now what we need is that we need to set the layout, and this also I want that I should place it somewhere over here. So where should I place it? Although I could place it anywhere, but let's suppose we place it over here. So what we are going to use is that get so we want the content pane first of all. So on the content pane only we are going to have our layout. For that reason we need to write get content pane over here, and we will call the method which is the set layout method. You can see that set layout. So we will call this particular method, and null because we are not we are using the absolute. So we are positioning wherever we are positioning in the frame, the component will be placed over there only, and we can also give the dimensions and the coordinate where we want to place the components. So we are just having a null layout now, and what else we need is that we need to add these two components now, and we also want to have a J option pane. So and now we are going to add these two components, and then we are going to have event listeners for them. So that here we can write that J button 1 equal to new J button. Similarly we can have J is small, J text field 1, so text field 1 equal to new J text field. So now these two components have been instantiated, but we have not placed these components anywhere in our pane. So we need to place these two components. So we need to place this. For that, what we are going to do is that we are going to write J button 1 dot. You can see that the methods are appearing. So we need to know that which component we want to place, and we are going to place that component. Actually, for adding the component, what we need is that we need to have the content pane first of all. So for that reason we should write get content pane once again. So content thing. uh, this I'd written earlier also. So now we want the add method to add the component, and we are going to write the name of the component which we want to add. So first of all we are going to add a J button. So J button, and the name of the J button was J button 1. So this I've added now. Similarly, what's the problem? Let's see. Okay, so actually no, follow this should be correct. And similarly we have to add the text field. So just copying it. Text field 1. So now we have added both the components. Now we need to place them somewhere. Their positioning is needed now. So for that reason we need the method uh, set bounds. So J button 1 dot set bounds. As you can see that we have the x coordinate where we want that our component should start, and the y coordinate where we want our component to start, and the width and the height. So we want that the button should be placed at particular location. Like if you want that it should be placed at starting at the 0, that is extreme left top. So the button will appear at extreme left top, and let the width be now let the width be 100 and the height be height I guess that the height should be less. So let the width be okay 100 and height be just 20. And similarly for the text field we want that the bounds over here, set bound for the text field. Suppose we want that the width is 100. So now in this case the text field is going to be below the button. Let it be there at starting at 100. Let the width be 200 and the height be the height be 50. One more thing, we also need to set the text of our button. So for that what we need is that the place where we can place it over here also. So anywhere let us write button 1 dot. So you have to set the text. So set text, and the text was, remember the text was, click here. Okay, so it's and the last thing which we want is that now as and when it is clicked So we would like to have the action listeners, and this the action listener interface will be there, and it will pass the event uh, and that is occurred, and then that event will be handled. So for that we need some code. So for that what we are going to do, first of all we are going to add action listener to the component on which the action is performed. So the action which is performed on the J button, so we're going to add action listener to that. So J button 1 dot add this interface. So as you can see, so actually this is we need to have an anonymous class over here, and for that new action listener. So this is the anonymous class, and I close this over here, but we need to write the code. Oh, sorry, actually I thought that entering over here. So the code would be over here for the action listener. So for that we will be just having a basis. No, hopefully I'm having the correct basis, sorry. And so whenever the action will be performed, then what will happen is that we need to have the code of the action which has been performed. So formed, and over here we will pass the event. So we can name it as EWT. So this is the event, and now for this event I'm going to write I'm going to call a function. So the function is let the name be the J button 1 action performed. So this will be the method, and we are going to pass the event which has occurred in it. So hopefully all of this is going right. This is close over here, this is also close over here, and this is also close to good. Everything is right till now. And now what we need is that we want to write the code of this particular method, which we are calling it is the J button 1 action performed. So that first of all, let's see that how many braces are there left. There are 2 braces which are left. Okay, this is correct over here. So the code is to be placed over here. Let us make some space for writing the code, and the method is the J button 1, and second name is J button 1 action performed. So formed method, and in this we are going to pass what's the problem over here. I guess they have written the correct name, so hopefully we'll correct it if there is some problem at the end. So we need to have the action listener passed over here, action, sorry, action event. Name of the event was EWT, and I'm naming it same over here. Now let's open this. So now we have, now as we know that we are going to have a option pane that will open, which will contain a message dialog, and there would be certain text which would be written, and that text would be from the text that has been taken from the text field. For that, what we need is that we first of all need a string of name. So string variable whose name is name. I will now this value of this particular string would be there from attained from jtext field 1 FIELD, and the method which will allow us to do that is get text. So this is the correct method which we were searching for. So now this is the name. Now we need to have the G option pin. So for that we have the, I guess that J option pin dot, and you know that we want to have a message. For that, the message small is correct, but show message we want. So show message dialog, and so the parent component would be null if you remember, and the root pane would be null, and it would be name. So it's all incorrect now. Hopefully, what's the problem? Just that need to have another braces, not anymore. So now this is because we need to import the action event. Hopefully everything is correct now. What's this? So action listener, we also need to import action listener. Hopefully all the things are correct now. I'm going to save this and I'm going to run this. So now you can see that we have the click here button over here, and we have a field over here. So if you write something that I'm going to write my name, and let's see that what's going to appear in the dialog box, and see sort of appeared over here. If I write that welcome to YouTube, then let's see that what's going to appear. I'll continue to run on YouTube, so hopefully everything has gone correct. Thanks for watching.